you want the fans to know, or any last thing you want to say to them before we get to see this series tonight?
This is where the fun begins.
And we're live. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Jedi Mike 7 Movie News Show. I'm your host, Jedi Mike 7, and I'm not alone. I'm here with my honorary auntie, Miss Vanessa Shark. Vanessa, how are you?
I am good. I'm glad to be here. We were just hanging out last week, so I'm like, meh. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. We had a very eventful week last week and everything, which we're going to cover. And also, thank you guys are in the live chat or watching the pre-recording. Before we get started, make sure you guys hit the like button, comment, subscribe, and share to all your platforms and all that stuff. And also make sure you hit the notification bell and make sure you're up to date on all uploads from the channel. So last week, we had the privilege of going to Cinemacon 2024. Now, Cinemacon is not like Comic-Con. That's in San Diego. That's in July, which we're also going. That is Cinemacon is more of a private event for more of our theater owners, decision makers, the big heads, watching all the studio presentations of footage and trailers and stuff that's coming out later on in the year and also next year in 2025 as well. And we're going to be covering over in probably around an hour or so of these major studios giving up their slate coming for the coming year and everything. I think starting with Warner Brothers, Lionsgate, Paramount, I believe, was it Universal and the big dog Disney. Well, we're not the big dog last year though. That was Universal. But anyway, we're gonna get into it, starting with Warner Brothers. Now, first, Vanessa, how was just your experience with Cinemacon in general? And then we can kind of get into more of what we thought the overall presentation of each one as we go through them. But yeah, what was your overall thoughts of last week?
It was so much fun. It went by really fast. It was so busy. There was so much to see, and it was really cool to see how much they put, like, the studios do it up for the theater owners, because it's like NATO, National Association for Theater Owners. Like, it's just a really cool event, and seeing how each presentation, each studio like did something a little bit different from each other. Especially, I feel like Warner Brothers and Universal and Disney did like the most out of everyone. But I thought it was cool. I had a lot of fun, and I'm glad I was in Vegas. I live in Vegas, so it's nice to just sit in my backyard or just, be in my city and just hang out and show everyone around as much as I could. But yeah, the Warner Brothers presentation was probably one of my favorites. I think there was a lot to see, and we got to see so many cool, like we saw Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice. Was it Beetlejuice? Wait, Beetlejuice was Warner Brothers?
I believe so. We got our list. We got our list right here. So
I need to look at I wrote articles and everything. And they're all blurred.
You're right. Beetlejuice.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, the Beetlejuice cast, and seeing Michael Keaton, and we saw Bong Joon-ho, and Robert Pattinson. Mickey 17 is probably my favorite thing that we saw out of Warner Brothers, and then of course like Joker 2 looked incredible. Warner Brothers was fun. The way they had the stage set up was really, really nice. I think that was one of my favorite presentations. What about you, man?
Yeah, I thought the presentation for Warner Brothers was decent. I mean, yes, the big one everybody was waiting for was for Beetlejuice 2. And I think what they provided for Beetlejuice was actually pretty good. Now, what I found was very interesting was, they brought the cast. So they had the way the stage was laid out. They had basically these four screens. At least they had it presented out and everything as just for a exhibit or type of presentation to make it more immersive experience. To bring up the new slate and everything. But yeah, I thought it was really good. We also got some footage from Mad Max or Furiosa, in which we got the appearance from Anna Taylor Joy, and also Chris
Chris
Hemsworth came
Hemsworth.
on stage. Yeah, and so yeah, and I thought the footage that we saw was really good. I think that at least for Furiosa, I mean, coming from the Mad Max Fury Road film, which was fantastic, definitely this one it looked like it's going to deliver and everything. Also with George Miller returning as well as director and stuff. But I don't know, what do you feel about Furiosa? Because I was knowing that was a big one that was coming.
Yeah, it looks good. I really loved Mad Max Fury Road, and Furiosa was one of my favorite characters. So, yeah, I was obsessed with like the characters in that movie. So I never thought we were gonna get Fury. They announced it way back then, but then it took forever to get the actual movie like made. So it was nice to actually finally see it, and I thought it looked really good. I'm excited to actually see what the movie's about. But yeah, Chris Hemsworth playing a villain. I think the world needs that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still kind of iffy with his nose in it and everything, but it's whatever. I mean, I don't know, but yeah. But other than that, I think that with one of the other things they mentioned, okay, the biggest one I was talking about was with the with James Gunn, right? Because what I kept telling you, Vanessa, I kept telling you, listen, hey, I know it's next year. I know they're gonna probably show something. You know what I mean? They gotta show us something, right? With Superman, whatever. And all of a sudden, when we see a big logo showed up after a big horror presentation. We see the Superman Legacy or the Superman James Gunn logo, but it was basically just teeing up and preparing for this Superman documentary called Superman: The Christopher Reeve Story. Which, after seeing that trailer, I literally was in tears. And that's going to be coming in late September of this year. So I know that was one of your favorites of things that came out of the presentation. But how do you feel about this documentary that's going to be coming out?
Yeah, I was tearing up too, and I was trying to keep it together. But Christopher Reeve's story is so like powerful, and it's also like sad. I mean, he lost we all know his story, and so I'm excited to see it. But I know I'm gonna be crying throughout the whole thing. But I'm glad that we're going. We need more Superman stories. Tell us all angles. Like Superman's been around forever, so I think it's really cool that we're getting a story about Christopher Reeve. And yeah, I was crying.
Yeah, no, DC fans will definitely see more content on this channel going over that, but especially that documentary which is coming out in September. We definitely will be covering that. Now I as a reviewer or as a movie critic, I haven't really been reviewing like documentaries and like at least on my platform before, but definitely that's one I definitely want to add into. And before we get into the big one, now the Shyamalans. So we got M. Night Shyamalan, him, and also his daughter. It also got films coming out. Which, come on, that's a dynamic duo. Not only that, you're bringing your film, you have your daughter's film coming out. Yeah. So we got Shyamalan's daughter. I forgot her first name.
Deshauna, I think.
Deshauna.
Deshauna, yeah.
Deshauna Shyamalan. She has a film coming out very soon called The Watcher with Dakota Fanning. And when that presentation came up, they were able to utilize those four screens in a very horror related. And now, mind you, we're in the upper level in the press area and stuff, but still, that was like, well, I was not expecting that. But yeah, how'd you feel about her new film coming out?
I'm not a horror fan, but I'm excited. Like that actually did seem like a really interesting concept, especially the way they like set up the stage. So maybe I'll check it out. I might check out his other movie too, or M. Night Shyamalan's movie, like Trap or whatever. They both looked really good. That actually looked really interesting. Both concepts are pretty cool, and I'm not surprised that family has like a pretty unique way of looking at telling stories that makes sense. It probably runs in the family. My favorite thing was when he called them the was it the Indian Von Trapps or whatever? It was hilarious.
The Indian Von Trapps, right?
I was like, that's perfect. But it was cool to see all the stuff that they had going on. I didn't even know she was making movies. It's her debut. So shout out to Nepo Babies right out there.
Yeah, no, I was very pleased with when I heard the trailer was coming out. I'm like, oh, it's Shyamalan, but like, no, it's his daughter. But speaking on Shyamalan, his film in which you mentioned, The Trap, which I'm very interested about. Now, to give you the premise, so what happened was, he create the scenario. He's on stage and he's talking about, hey, imagine, you're a dad or a parent and you're taking your daughter to this concert and this happens, whatever, right? And basically, she brings a singer who's actually in the film. I forgot. I forgot what type. I don't know if she's a K-pop singer or whatever, but she's definitely a performer. But she sings a song, and then all of a sudden she walks off stage, and then all of a sudden he shows the trailer for Trap. So
you're talking about the singer before the trailer was his other daughter. Her name is Seleka, and she is a singer.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Okay, he had two. Listen, okay.
Yeah, the whole that's why he called them that. Like the whole family is like all involved. Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead, get the bread. Honestly, I love it. They create that dynasty, in the box,
right?
But no, but yeah, in the trailer we see a dad taking his daughter to a concert. Let's say put any singer, Taylor Swift, whatever, because she's popular now. And it is she's having a good time and everything, and all of a sudden dad walks away and go check his phone and stuff, right? But around him, you see, mind you, this is Shyamalan. Something's about to happen. We don't know what's going on. But also we see lost security and cop cars and everything is closing up and locking down the doors and everything. And the dad and everyone's acting like it's normal and stuff. But then the dad goes ask some guy from concessions like, "Hey, what's going on here?" So the word on the street is this guy basically said there's a serial killer who always go out and murders people during these massive concerts, right? And the police think that this serial killer is going to be here, so they're going to set a trap for him, right? Now, as he's saying that, you simultaneously see scenes of the dad actually killing people in previous concerts, which then leads to revelation that he is the serial killer that they're trying to get and set a trap for. And I'm like, and it didn't catch me. I was like, wait, what? That's interesting. I was like, okay, I'm down. Now, mind you, Shyamalan is always most of the time, hit or miss. You have old. I think you had, the Unbreakable Glass, the Split series, everything, which were great films. But yeah, Sixth Sense. But this is where we get away from the supernatural element of it, right? And just get into a just basic serial killer type story. But what is the twist though? Because he gave it in the trailer. So what is it? Is a daughter in on it? She's only 12,
Yeah, no, that was a really cool concept. It's Josh Hartnett, so like it'll be very interesting to see because you're seeing the story from the serial killer's perspective, which is a unique concept. Like I said, I think it's all interesting because the Watchers was these people were like being observed by someone, and then this is like a serial killer is trapped in a concert, and they're like, so I'm like. It's all. I love it. It's actually really cool. I like original movies like this. We don't so much. We have so much franchise and like sequels and stuff that we're missing out on a lot of original movies. So I'm excited to see so much original film coming out of Warner Brothers. Yeah.
Yeah, and speaking of the one original film, at least we have the Academy Award winning director. I'm going to make sure I pronounce his name right. Bong Joon-ho.
Bong Joon-ho,
Bong Joon-ho, right?
Bong Joon-ho,
he directed the Best Picture for Parasite, which I love that film. Make sure you guys go check that out. Yeah, and he has a film coming out which is going to be releasing in, I believe, January 25th, 2025. Right, so beginning of January of next year. It's called Mickey 17. Now, this is an adaptation from a previous story called Mickey 7, and is starring Robert Pattinson. And it's basically set place in this futuristic world where they keep cloning the same type of person for these experiments, whatever. And he dies in miraculous ways, whatever. But what happens when with the one of the clones, whoever doesn't die, now you have two people at the same time. What happens? And that's what happens with Mickey 17. And you have a lot of people. You have Stephen Yeun. You have other actors in there, which again, Stephen Yeun's having a fantastic year, not just with
Mhm.
Invincible and everything. Beef, if you haven't checked it out, go watch that. But yeah, how do you feel about Mickey 17?
That's probably the one I'm looking forward to the most out of everything that I've saw. Like director Bong is such a good. He's so good. So I already know one that's going to be a good movie. But also, Robert Pattinson is a fantastic actor. So I already know, that's like double. Like I just know it's going to be good. Oh, and such a good cast of people. He's playing multiples of himself. He was talking about how to like he was differentiating between all the characters he plays because they all look the exact same. So he had to like make nuanced changes in their performances. So in his performances for each of them. So I thought that I'm like, oh, I'm so excited. Like this is probably going to be an Oscar level movie because of just who was in it and who's involved. That's my favorite. And I think everyone we were at the after party, the Fandango after party. Everyone that we talked to that I talked to at the party, like the pool party, was saying that Mickey 17 was the most exciting thing they saw. Like, so I'm pretty sure the consensus is that one's the most exciting thing for sure. So I liked it a lot.
Yeah, and that one caught me by surprise, but I'm really looking forward to that. But it's coming out next year in 2025. But the big one everybody was waiting for, which you also guys got a glimpse of, that we got the first trailer for Joker 2. I forgot how you pronounce the
Afolido, Volido, Afolido. I cannot speak French.
Yeah, it's something French, but it something deal with music and stuff. But yeah, we had Todd Phillips, the director, come on stage, and we got presented the second or first trailer of the highly anticipated sequel. Now, as both you and I as DC fans, how do you feel about the first trailer for Joker?
I thought it was really good. I am excited. I have been a Gaga fan for a long time, so like seeing her as Harley is like super exciting. The trailer looked fun. It really did look like I thought it was gonna be super different in tone for some reason, but it actually does look like a pretty seamless continuation of the first film. But now we're like, oh, Joker's in love, and like there's like it looked really good. Like I'm excited. Like the costumes, the back, like everything about it looked really fun. So I'm excited to see the movie itself. I am hesitant about how they're going to portray the relationship between Harley and Joker, because Harley and Joker is very abusive, like in canon and almost every depiction. Actually, I think in every depiction of Joker and Harley's relationship, he's pretty abusive towards her. So I am a little bit hesitant and cautious about that and seeing how they kind of do that. But I'm very excited that it's a trailer. Looks really cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for me again, I thought the trailer was beautiful. I do like, again, they're exploring the musical elements of it. We're gonna be going on deep dive on it tomorrow on the live stream. Me and Jay King breaking that down, because that's a whole dissecting of itself. But I do believe that I believe, based off of the previous film, if they go a certain direction with this one, it can be a very the irony of just terms of maybe manipulators or abusers, whatever, in toxic relationships can go on, and what scenario they create in their head, thinking that they're the hero. I think that's something that can be very done in the right way, but more importantly in a respectful way. That's not in a way kind of putting an image that's already degrading. Of the legacy of Harley Quinn. Which she's outgrown that part of herself in her lore in DC. But again, there's many ways to it, because again, like, she's a patient, she's not a psychiatrist, or is she? Is she just interviewing, Joker, and then at the end it's like, oh, I'm a my name is Dr. Arlene Quinzel and stuff, and then that's how the movie ends. It's like that's that can be something, but we'll see. But that concludes terms of the WB panel. Next we have, I believe, what was it, Lionsgate? Okay, make sure my notes here. Yes, so Lionsgate. We mentioned that I had an interview with the president of NATO, Michael Leary, and they were talking about how the rise of anime properties were going up and and the industry has been responding in terms of more anime properties, Netflix shows, movies, whatever, increasing. And that's when we got our first announcement, which has already been announced before, about Naruto, which is going to be directed by the Shang-Chi director that will be coming very soon. But yes, that's what's confirmed. We got new Blair Witch project that's coming out as well. Monopoly, produced by Margot Robbie from Barbie. She's gonna be a producer on the Monopoly film. Yeah, they kind of went on this kind of rapid fire with this list and everything. Let's see. Oh, we had Henry Cavill come on stage, kind of giving his Guy Ritchie, speech and everything, because he has a film that's actually premiering today for you guys to see on a press screening for the Ministry of what's it called? The Gentleman film.
Oh, the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare and In the Gray, and he also talked about Highlander.
Yes, and so that film be coming out this week, I believe, or this week or next week.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then but Highlander has still been no footage from that. No, other than that, it still could be in production, and that definitely Henry Cavill can be doing some sword fighting on that. And also we got In the Gray, which is coming in 2025, with Jake Gyllenhaal as well. So yeah, so we got a new cast of people interacting, with Henry Cavill and everything. So in other words, this dude's still gonna be working. So but what was your thoughts on the Lionsgate panel? Anything that stuck out to you?
Lionsgate was fine. I really wasn't sure what to expect, but I was like trying to remember. It was cool seeing Henry Cavill, and it was really, really cool seeing Halle Berry. I think that was the highlight for me, was seeing her on stage, and you got to meet her, which is so cool. I liked seeing her talk about the movie that she was in. I can't remember what it's called.
Never Let Go.
Never Let Go, which is like a post-apocalyptic movie, and everyone was laughing on, everyone was kind of making jokes on Twitter about how Halle Berry's in her disheveled mom wig, every time she's yeah, there he is. So the movie looks really cool. She's got I loved that she was talking about how being a mother really informed her decisions for this role. So I think that's the thing that looks the most exciting. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's because the world is in a crazy place right now, but I love apocalypse and post-apocalyptic films. I love seeing how people figure out ways to survive, and maybe it's because I look at it like a guide just in case the world collapses. I can figure it out.
Right.
I don't know. Yes. So those types of movies really spark my interest. I thought that was the most interesting out of all of them, in my opinion. Yeah. What about you?
Yeah, no, I thought, I had a chance to talk to her again. This is also another picture. I got to put that in the gram. Yeah. There. But also, when I was talking to her is that, again, that this is another type of horror film that she's going to be in. And definitely is with two black boys who's her sons, and she's the overprotective mother, but rightfully so if you see what's in the woods. And, they're going in, and every time they have to leave their house, they're always attached to a rope. And they're saying that rope is your lifeline. So what happens when it let go, whatever. But it's also other things for motherhood, I guess. I'm not a parent yet. Soon I will be, but I know Vanessa, you can relate to that and stuff like that. But I think in those extreme elements, it's definitely good for to see in terms of a film. So I am looking forward to that. Well, I think another thing that stuck out to me, yes, big one. Mark Wahlberg in the Flight Risk with his damn toupee and shit. I don't know what he was wearing, but yeah, Mark Wahlberg got a film coming out called Flight Risk where he plays an assassin, whatever, but he has a toupee. You'll find out when you see the trailer and stuff. Killer. Okay, this is a new I guess killer or action comedy. The Killer Game with Dave Bautista and Palm Clementia from Guardians of the Galaxy. That came out of blue, but that was definitely rated R action. People getting their throats cut out and all that stuff. Yeah. So I'm definitely down for that. What was your thoughts on that?
I didn't really have any. Those aren't my kind of films, but it's an interesting concept. Hitman, or he thinks he's dying of cancer. He orders a hit on himself. Oh no. but it's not. So he has to fight off a bunch of assassins. It's very Jason Statham. I love that Dave Bautista is finally and finding his like niche and like what he's gonna do. But yeah, it's not a movie I'm interested in. But I want to talk about Aziz Ansari.
Yes.
His little I forgot about that. That was his like little stand-up routine was hilarious.
Definitely comedic relief in it that was well needed. At that time, you sitting down watching this conference and everything. But yeah, he definitely added a lot to it. Yeah, this is him again. I met him too. Bam.
Oh.
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah. Yes. But yeah, good fortune with Keanu Reeves. Where he's playing where Keanu Reeves is playing an angel and stuff, and this Ozzy's character, basically down his luck and everything. Keke Palmer's in it, Seth Rogen's in it. It's like definitely a weird cast that's collectively put together, but somehow it works, and I was really engaged with it. Those type of comedies he mentioned with like the Superbads, the Pineapple Express and stuff like that, those things are kind of missing. And I actually don't appreciate that as a him. I think he's directing this film. Is that that this is like something that needs to bring back into cinema. So I do appreciate that. The last two, which are big ones. So John Wick is back, but not yet.
Ballerina.
We got the ballerina with Ama. I'm pretty sure I pronounced her name right.
Ana de Armas. Ana de Armas,
yes. But yeah, she's playing the ballerina. So you remember in John Wick 2, that there was a scene with the ballerinas who are also assassins. So this is focusing on one particular character in that world. But this is taking place, and been confirmed that from Lionsgate, that's taking place between John Wick 3 and John Wick 4. Now, why are they doing a prequel and not a continuation? Well, maybe we'll see, because Keanu Reeves will be coming back for this film, even though it's a prequel. But the head at Lionsgate basically teased that John Wick might be coming back. Obviously, the last fourth film being financially successful and critically successful, definitely will probably get a chapter 5 or final chapter with John Wick. But yeah, but this will be coming out later this year. Yeah, what's your thoughts on John Wick, the ballerina? Do you liked it?
I have never seen a John Wick film, so I don't have many thoughts on it. I'm sorry. I know it's blasphemous, but I just never. It was like it came out, and then all of a sudden there were 4 of them. I was like, when did all these movies come out? So I was gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch them eventually, but I have not watched them yet. And there's nothing against it. I'm not a big action. Those are low on my list of movies to watch. So eventually I will watch it. It's like I've only seen one
emotional damage.
I've only seen one Fast and Furious movie. Like those type of movies.
That's it. Time out, guys. Let's all calm down. Yeah, we're all worked up. Let's all just like chill the f out.
Anyway, so my thoughts are: I'm happy for everyone.
Okay, no, that's all good. I know, but that's something for my dad. My dad, he was like, Mike, what's going on with John Wick? Like, so, that's what it's a 64-year-old self always asking you. But the big one I did not expect, Michael Jackson. We got Michael Jackson footage, and this film's coming out April 18, 2025. Now I have a friend who's in the film, and who's currently shooting in LA and everything. This film is still in production, just started production, everything. We got Colman Domingo, we got freaking Nia Long in it. Honestly, I wish they would cast Halle Bailey, not Halle Berry, Halle Bailey, who's a new mom. I wish they would cast her as Janet Jackson, but hey, that would have been a good one. But yeah, and I honestly thought this is set up to be a really I think Oscar-winning film, like it coming from the same vein as Bohemian Rhapsody, producers and everything, and the producer said that they're covering everything, the controversy, all the stuff, the highs and lows, all that stuff, and definitely his relative playing Michael Jackson. I feel like he did a good job, at least the voice, the look, and everything. Knocked out apart, at least for the footage that we saw. But yeah. What's your thoughts on Michael?
It looked really good. I wasn't like, I didn't really have any expectations of it, but one of my favorite biopics is like the Selena movie, and it kind of gave me that same feeling. Like, so I'm hoping it's as good, and I hope it doesn't shy away from like all of Michael was a strange and fascinating person. So I hope they kind of do right by that. So we'll see. It's got a great cast. I'm excited. And at the very least, we'll get good music out of it. I know that like the Whitney biopic was meant to a lot of people. And so I'm hoping that this one is better, you know?
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, I wasn't a fan of the Whitney biopic, in my opinion. Yeah, but I mean, I've seen better ones on BET. But anyway, sorry, I charged my phone. Oh, charged my laptop here. There we go. We all good. All right, cool. So what was it? That concludes for Lionsgate. So the next one is Universal? Oh, Paramount. Paramount. Okay, Paramount. So guys, they were going through the whole list and everything. They were going through it. Bang! I couldn't even type. I couldn't even type. Damn it! I was in the reserve section, but man, they kept going.
Yeah.
So yeah, they announced, confirmed, we're getting Avatar: The Last Airbender, or Aang: The Last Airbender, which is the first film, coming in 2025 with Dave Bautista being voiced as the villain for that film. It's gonna be a theatrical film. So then I think next one we got confirmed after Transformers: Rise of the Beast, that end cameo or tease, which you thought has been confirmed. Yes, we're getting a crossover with G.I. Joe and Transformers. Yes, it's happening. The Avengers Hasbro Endgame or Infinity War, whatever you would call it. Yes. So, I think what else? Aside from we're getting confirmation that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles were very successful from last year. Is coming again a sequel in 2025, I believe, which didn't have anything to show us for that. Same thing for Sonic, was very successful. That's gonna be coming out. Sonic 3, which we saw some footage of Sonic 3 with Jim Carrey returning, and now as of today, they confirmed that Keanu Reeves will be voicing Shadow.
Yeah.
Now, I knew this for about 4 days. And I couldn't say jack shit. So because it was at the Lionsgate, I was at the Lionsgate after party, whatever, when I was talking to Henry Cavill with them. I was hearing some people that were there for Paramount and we're talking with other critics and stuff. It's like talking about Sonic is like, oh yeah, we got Shadow, but hey, just let you know, the voice in Shadow, and it's not Hayden Christensen. I was like, no, it's not Hayden Christensen. Yeah, people thought it was Hayden Christensen, whatever, right? But like, no, it's not Hayden Christensen. But you can't say it this way. It's Keanu Reeves. I was like, really?
Oh, shit.
Yeah, signed deal, all of it. But you don't say anything till after next week. After this week, it was like, okay. And then today they announced it. So yeah, man, yeah, had to scoop. I had it. I couldn't say shit.
Yeah, that's smart. You that's good. You didn't leak it. You didn't say nothing. Not for clout. Good for you.
No. Yeah, and the big one, my jaw dropped when they announced this. So speaking of Ninja Turtles, they have confirmed that they are adapting the live action storytelling of Ninja Turtle story, The Last Ronin, and it's gonna be live action and it's gonna be rated R. Rated R. Now, when that logo showed up, I was
God!
Like,
okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm.
What's the procedure, everyone? What's the procedure?
Stay calm.
Wait.
Everybody, calm down. No.
Yeah, and like literally, Sam who's sitting next to me had to calm me down because we were sitting right next to some execs though. But yes, The Last Ronin, one of the best recent Ninja Turtle storylines that came out in the last couple of years. But yeah, that was the big one for me. What was your thoughts, Vanessa, on the Paramount panel?
I thought it was light on 2024 stuff. I'm not gonna lie. Like it was like they were like, here's all the 2025 stuff, and then here's some of our, like some stuff that like it was very light, and I could tell that Paramount was affected more by the strikes than anyone else, it felt like. But I will say Paramount was very smart for their Gladiator 2 marketing. We were seeing the Cinemacon is in Caesar's Palace in Las Vegas, which if you've never been, Caesar's Palace it's Roman themed. So throughout the throughout Caesar's Palace, if you're near they have statues of like Roman statues throughout the entire casino, and Paramount hung gladiator shield shaped signs over the statues, like private areas and stuff. Excellent marketing. I saw this a few times. It was so good. So I thought that was really, really cool. So and then they continued that by having one of the guys, I think president of something or other, come in with gladiators on a chariot. It was ridiculous. Like, so it was really smart to like kind of play up the fact that Gladiator 2 is coming back. Sir Ridley Scott's directing it. Connie Nielsen's back. You have Pedro Pascal, Paul Mescal, Denzel Washington. Like the cast of this movie is astounding. So I would say like that one's probably the biggest one that I think like it just felt like the biggest, you know. Also, but for a personal favorite, I love the A Quiet Place franchise. So like we're getting a prequel, and it's gonna be with Lupita Nyong'o and Joseph Quinn, who are both got awards actually on Thursday. But I love the Quiet Place movies, so I'm excited to see this prequel because it's day one. It's called A Quiet Place Day One, which is when the invasion originally happened, and like how New York goes quiet, and following Lupita and Joseph's characters as they try to get out of New York, which is really cool. Yeah, there it is. But yeah, I thought Paramount's was like overall wasn't as strong as the other presentations, but there was still some cool stuff, you know, and we got to see Lupita Nyong'o talk, so that was cool.
Yeah, no, this is the scene where the people came in the chariots at the panel and everything, but I thought that was done very well. They did. Now, did you notice they were making fun of some of the theaters? They had a voiceover of the Gladiator trailer or scene, whatever, and talking about, "Are you not entertained?" Varying ticket prices. Yes, no, okay. How about just releasing footage that's not coming out until like a year or so? Yeah, you know, because you know, so AMC was doing the whole variant ticket pricing thing that was so stupid.
Dynamic ticket pricing, yeah, terrible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, but that was but you're definitely looking forward to Gladiator 2. Quiet Place 2, which I had an interview of being on the red carpet doing pictures for Joseph Quinn and Lupita Nyong'o, who also are award recipients at Cinemacon as well. But definitely love their at least just their off-screen chemistry. So I'm looking forward to what they'll do in this. So yeah, definitely looking forward to Quiet Place day one. But yeah, there we go. But that concludes in terms of the Paramount panel. Now next will be Universal.
I was not there for that. I didn't know I wasn't feeling well, so Mike's got that one.
I got you covered. So Universal. So then we had the president of Fandango coming out talking about, you know, distribution and all that stuff, right? But then the president, I think Will McIntosh, Jim Orr, the president of distribution at Universal, basically came and talking about the achievement of not only, you know, amazing year, you know, in terms of their with cinema and everything, but with Super Mario Brothers and but also with Illumination, but with Oppenheimer winning Best Picture and brought Christopher Nolan, at least as on video, talking about thanking everyone because last year he brought Oppenheimer to CinemaCon and that created a lot of good buzz and stuff like that. So, but yeah, that was good. We did get a few announcements about that Megan 2.0 was coming in 2025, another horror film, Five Nights at Freddy's sequel as 2025. We got Super Mario Brothers 2, which is confirmed to come out in 2026. Then we got we'll see here, Twister, a very cringe thing. You had the cast come on there, brought a fan acting like, oh man, there's a big Twister coming and stuff, and acting all, you know, acting like they're funny and everything. Yeah, it was really cringe though. I don't know how I feel about Twister. This film is definitely a sequel to the original one, but yeah, I don't know how I feel about it. Definitely I love the cast, but I don't know how I feel about just terms of the story. At least they're trying to tell and everything. But yeah, we'll see with that. What was it? Now we go to Focus Features, which is just a subdivision within Universal. We got a Wild Robot with Lupita Nyong'o's animated films coming out of basically a robot going into a futuristic world or Earth, whatever that humans abandoned, and now that he or she is learning how to live life through mimicking animals and now protecting them and stuff like that, which called them the Wild Robot. This is with Lupita Nyong'o, and I actually that film is beautiful. Now they show some footage of it. Some of the scenes were unfinished, but still, in terms of visual effects wise, but it still looked good. I mean, I'm really looking forward to that. What we had, and the big one, Bike Riders, which was a film that should have came out last year. I know half of my friends have already seen it. But yeah, I'm waiting to see this damn film with Tom Hardy and freaking Austin Butler and them and everything coming out June 21st. Around June 21st of this year. And so they found a distributor. It's supposed to come out last year, but now they found it. Blumhouse, they have another film called Speak No Evil with James McAvoy, which is an adaptation of a Swedish horror film that came out, and now they're adapting and making it American. I don't know how I feel about just keep why they keep making Americanized versions of of horror films and stuff. But yeah, and then the big one they had, which ended off with a visual presentation, was with Wicked. Wicked, which is going to be in multiple films, this had brought in Michelle Yeoh, Ariana Grande, Cynthia as well. The whole cast. They brought in the director, who also got a reward from Cinemacon that last week as well. But yeah, they brought a whole light presentation show with these roses that lighted up and everything, and it lit up the whole room. I'm trying to find a picture here. I think someone was able to take a picture at the convention. Was it again Cinemacon? But yeah, it was very beautiful in there. Yeah, you had Ariana Grande there, but they had this very they had the dresses on display in front of the the Coliseum, for pictures and everything like that. But yeah, some of these roses. This is what we got here. Let me bring it up here. So right here. So these are the roses we got. We had these necklaces that light up, and also these roses that light up as well. And in our seats and stuff, and it lit up the whole place. I thought it was very, very beautiful. But yeah, and they just Jeff Goldblum was also there as well, talking about there's going to be in multiple films and stuff like that. So Wicked Part 1 is coming out later this year, and then Wicked Part 2 is going to be coming out later in 2025. So but that concludes the Universal panel. I hope I'm not missing anything. There are a lot of horror films and stuff I don't want to really don't want to watch. It's I'm not being for real. I was just kind of getting through this, and stuff like that. But yeah, that concludes the Universal panel. So the last one, one is the big dog, House of Mouse, Disney. Now we kept asking, hey, which one? Who's the winner of CinemaCon? Is it Warner Brothers? Is it Paramount, Lionsgate? Disney, whatever. Which one is it? Right? Well, we actually, they actually gave us over, I believe, was it
75 minutes?
75 minutes of footage, and they gave us the first look of, or at least the first 32 minutes of Inside Out 2. Vanessa, what was your thoughts on Disney presentation whole, but also Inside Out?
So it was actually funny. We were waiting in line for Disney's presentation, and one of our buddies, Lucas, came up to us and mentioned that someone from Disney was asking how presentations were going, and I thought that was interesting. Whatever. Then we get into the press area, and there was a last minute change from CinemaCon. People told us there was a last minute change. Disney told us that you guys are allowed to take pictures and videos of talent on stage. No footage, but just pictures of talent on stage. And which is we weren't allowed to do that for anyone else. We were not allowed to take pictures of anyone else. So when Disney made that change, I was like, boom. That to me was huge. Like being able to essentially live post, like live tweet, live, like as it was happening, like that was a game changer. And I think Disney knew that because they were the last studio presentation, so they were able to go out with a bang, and they knew no one else would be able to one up them. So I thought that was smart, just in general. I think the best thing about my favorite thing about I would say, I mean, honestly, the Deadpool, and you can't really go wrong with that. Like Deadpool and Wolverine, I'm very excited for, and I love that they kept peppering all the like little Cinemacon specific clips that we got with Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman as Wolverine and Deadpool, like don't take footage, or like have fun with your fake ass award, and like just stuff like that. It was really fun to get just like a little exclusive clips only for people that go there. Like this isn't even going to be released online. Like that's really, really, I like that. I like that we got like stuff that was specific to us. But yeah, I think that was my favorite part. Just seeing Sean Levy, who was awarded Director of the Year. He was great. Yeah, I thought that was fun. That was my favorite. And Kevin Feige said fuck. So that was also my editor actually texted me or messaged me, was like, did Kevin Feige actually say fuck? I was like, yes, he did. So yeah, that was fun. Yeah, the Marvel stuff is always gonna be the most interesting, exciting stuff for most people. But it was cool to see Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson come out on stage and like do his little dance. I think called the haka. I'm so sorry if it's wrong. I do not want to offend anyone, as I have apparently been doing. I'm sorry, but
No, you haven't. No, you haven't.
I want to make sure to not. But I don't exactly know how to pronounce the dance. But he did it. He came out with traditional dancers for and like their culture. It was really cool for Moana too. So that was fun to see all that. And Inside Out is really cute. It was a really good presentation. Disney did the damn thing. So what about you, Jedi Mike 7?
Now you can use my YouTube name. But no, yeah, no, I thought it was good. I think that the footage, the fact that you're right. The fact that they had over 75 minutes of footage, that was one thing. They were trying to go out in all cylinders. Bob Iger wasn't there, but Kevin Feige was there. They didn't have a producer to speak out, but yeah, that's what the presentation they had. We were able to take some pictures and stuff, which you guys have seen on our social media. Yeah, first off, when they start off with Inside Out 2, which I thought the first 32 minutes was actually very good. I mean, I think all of us can relate to just with these emotions and everything. Like Disney needs a banger because last year was not their year. And I understand for a lot of people, like when it comes to Disney, everybody, their attitude, thinking that, every time they bring out a film and doesn't be successful over and over again when they're feeling last year, a lot of people, every time they hear the word Disney now, they're basically like this.
I am sick. I am sick of your shit. And when I'm not sick, I'm tired. I am sick and tired.
Yeah, so I mean, but I can guarantee you what we saw, you might actually get, what you guys been asking for. So, but yeah, Inside Out 2 was a great, we saw a bunch of different emotions, embarrassment, envy, anxiety, and what was the boredom? What was the name?
Ennui and embarrassment. And anxiety is definitely my favorite. Voiced by Maya Hawke. Anxiety is like, I think everyone in the press room or in the press area, we were all like commiserating a lot with anxiety and embarrassment because
yeah. I think it was funny. It was funny when Anxiety was talking, giving her whole spiel and stuff like, well, there may different scenarios and stuff. We don't want to have the bad outcome, whatever. And then Fear was like, oh yeah, you and I can be best friends.
Besties. Anxiety is just a more complex version of Fear.
Right. Yeah. And there's a lot of the best way I can say is without giving anything away. There's a lot of Spider-Verse, different type of animation, in one scene.
Oh yeah.
I thought in a very unique way, like, they can go deep with this, so and I felt I wasn't expecting that. I was like, you know what, Spider-Verse, he gets to get more of his flowers because everybody's trying to be like them now. Shout out to Running Unchained, shout out to Running Unchained in the building, shout out to Team JBS as well. We love them. Thank y'all. But yeah, we was also, they showed a little bit also of Moana, The Rock was on stage and everything. but yeah, that was good. And he also got a reward for, I think, Trailblazer Award or something like that. Yeah, so he got that award on the stage. So, but before the panel even started, we also get some footage, or at least a clip of Deadpool and Wolverine telling us, to take, turn our phones off and stuff. But yeah, I thought that was kind of funny. But we got Captain America footage. Like I wasn't expecting that. On Black History Month. It's coming out.
Oh yeah. I was like, what? Oh yeah. Yeah.
Well, every day is Black Women's Month, Black History Month, and all that stuff.
Yeah. Black Women's Month. Yeah.
And then and if it's like, if it's Cinco de Mayo, I just say Happy Black Women's Hispanic Month. That's just how it is.
Shout out to Afro Latinos.
But yeah, I was watching this. We just see Cap Shield come out of nowhere. I was like, oh, yeah, they're showing Cap footage. Then that's in 2025. We get some footage of Anthony Mackie and also with Harrison Ford. They do a little acknowledgement of him having, being recast and everything, a unique way and stuff. But I know this show definitely was this film was in production hell, because they had literally almost reshoot almost 75% of this film, because we were supposed to get this movie for Deadpool. That originally. But listen, I'm hoping that we get this, all Captain America, 4 and everything goes well and stuff like that. He was talking about how Winter Soldier is going to be like the template that he wants this film to be. Thunderbolts, Fantastic Four, they just announced that they're in production right now. But then we get Sean Levi, the director of Deadpool and Wolverine. Shout out to Busy Man. Shout out to Busy Man. Make sure y'all share all platforms. Yes. Shout out to the fam in the comment section down below. Appreciate y'all. But yeah, we saw basically he was talking about, this is rated R. We have Kevin Feige cussing and everything, and we were in the award ceremony. We were literally at like 4 seats away. Like 4 seats away from Kevin Feige. Like
at the awards,
At the awards, I was like, we
met Dan Stevens. He was behind us because
Dan Stevens. He was.
Mike left.
Yeah, right. Like seriously, I had to leave early. I had to leave early to go to catch my flight in Vegas and stuff like that, and I gotta give Vanessa a hug, say thank you, and I got dip and stuff. But before, all the freaking Ray Stevens, it's in there, freaking Legion, Professor Charles Xavier's son. He's down the hall. I was like, you know what? I could be a moment, get a picture with you, but nigga, I'm tired. I'm tired. You know what? I just want to give you your marbles, because listen, my cards are right. I'm gonna see you again. So that's just how it is. You work, you keep the grind on. I'm gonna see you again. I'm gonna see you again, Henry Cavill. I'm gonna see you again, Halle Berry. Then I'm gonna shake your hand, Kevin Feige, one day. It was just down the hall. So that happened. But then we get footage of Deadpool and Wolverine. Then off the night. And basically we see, I think, about 7 or 9 minutes of footage, and we're seeing the new life of Wade Wilson now as a used car salesman, but still keeping his Deadpool quirks and everything and all stuff like that. But we noticed that he's actually being followed by the TVA, but we don't know that yet. Then we go into basically what we saw in the first trailer, which is Deadpool having a birthday party, and we're basically seeing Colossus, Yukio, and everyone, Negasonic, TH Warhead, and then we see what's the blind woman's name? I forgot her name. Yeah, but anyway, the actress who plays the blind woman, they're just going back, having banter with each other, and then Ryan Reynolds is breaking the fourth wall, and they're making jokes about cocaine. It's like, no, cocaine is on the list of Kevin Feige jokes. We can make a joke about it, But yeah, and then we've also, this is interesting. Nobody was talking about this. We now find out that actually Wade and Vanessa are not together. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I felt something. There was some tension that was in the trailer, like something's going on, like saying it was a rough couple of years, but I'm happy. But like, yeah, he no girl, no relation, no job. He's done. He with superhero stuff and everything.
Wearing a terrible wig. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
so we're in yeah, right. And then all of a sudden the TVA agents knock on the door and we basically get to what we see in the trailer. And then we kind of get to the same thing where he meets the person from TVA, which is confirmed as Paradox, which is taking place of the Mobius character from Loki. And now we're basically getting to what they want Deadpool for is just to protect and save the sacred timeline. Now, we thought the sacred timeline was protected because Loki turned the thing to a freaking tree. So what's going on? So what's going on here? Right. So, but then all of a sudden we see all these TV monitors and basically, Deadpool just saying, wait, you mean I can join the Marvel Cinematic Universe? Bunch of cameos and crossovers and mess.
Mhm.
Okay. And then he salutes Captain America, which is in comics, by the way. He likes a fan of Captain America. But then he was geeking out, and all of a sudden he told Paradox, hey, can you just wait 1 second? And he walks down the hall and he looks at the screen
Oh
and he's
yeah.
like, yeah. And he says, F you, Fox, I'm going to Disney World. Suck it.
Suck it,
But yeah,
Fox.
and then we basically get a bunch of montage scenes and stuff. We see a quick glimpse of Dogpool. There was not a lot of stuff that was shown that was really surprising. Like we still have not seen Wolverine in his full mask yet in the trailer, which I'm glad they're saving it. We did see all those popcorn buckets, which we saw before they pulled that bitch away from the shelf after it got leaked because it's like we take all these pictures and I was like, oh yeah, and don't look at the bottom row here, whatever. It's like there's all Deadpool stuff for the film. Right. So when Kevin Feige and everybody making a joke like, yeah, we asked Deadpool to make a popcorn bucket. I've already seen it. I've already seen it. I already got some cups, or at least we got some cups coming our way. Shout out to Team JBS. Yes, we got some. But yes, but yeah, that happened. But yeah, it's still the film is still slated to come in July 26, 2024, the week of Comic-Con, y'all. Now, will we try to see it at Comic-Con the week before? I don't know, but I know we all gotta see it and talk about it. You know what I mean? But yeah, but other than that concludes in terms of our coverage of CinemaCon. But Vanessa, just overall, what's your kind of just final thoughts on the entire event and which presentation you felt was kind of like your favorite and kind of takeaway from CinemaCon in Vegas?
CinemaCon was a blast. I want to go every year. I can't wait till next year. It was fun. It was more than I expected. I wasn't expecting to get as much as we did, and it was really cool that they gave us as much. I will say that Disney and Warner Brothers had probably my favorite, like just encompassing everything, like Disney being able, like letting us take pictures and stuff, and Warner Brothers had the best stage. I will die on the hill. They had the best stage. The little setup with the watchers was really cool. But overall, it was nice. It was swanky. Yeah, there's Hallie. She's a fellow Ohioan. We are both from Cleveland. Shout out to us. But I can't wait till next year. It was fun. It was fun meeting people. Like I met Mike and Sam last year at Comic-Con, but like I got to meet Lucas. I got to like officially met a bunch of new people. It was a fun time. It was good to connect with other, press of color too, especially like we were always getting together. But it's nice to see us, and our perspective is important. Our perspective is necessary because you're gonna get the same coverage from the same type of people constantly, but like put us in there, and you're gonna get a different type of vibe, a different type of perspective. So it's nice. I'm glad that. Thank you for inviting us to CinemaCon. We'll be there next year.
Yeah, I for me, I felt like a dream come true. I think it was the getaway or break I needed, even though I was working there. The last day I was doing the red carpet, my legs hurt. And stuff, but I was like just standing up in the background capturing some B-roll footage, me and Sam. But yeah, I honestly felt like I was just happy just to be there and just realize, hey, listen, I believe I was the youngest person in there. In that but and people not to shout out to our friend Chris from Joe Blow, like literally he kept saying, you're 25, you're 25, man. You don't be running this shit. Like, I'm like, you're 25. You'll be running this shit when you're like 40, my age. I'm like, yeah, that's right. Oh, Lord willing. But yeah, literally, I met some of my heroes. I met John Campea I met his wife. I met his brother-in-law. I met a bunch of people. I saw some people that remembered me from Comic-Con, San Diego, Geeks of Color. Shout out to them. RB3, shout out to Dorian and them, great folks and stuff like that.
Shout out to Black Girl Nerds. Yeah.
And yes, of course, shout out to Black Girl Nerds. Like again, now we can exchange each other contacts and everything. There was, it was a great time and meet, and I was glad that at least I was around a group of people I know that were just genuine good people. They also helped me because I know I'm in this position at my age. I just don't want to take for granted. And I just knew that like where I'm going, my aspirations, where I want to go, I just want to make sure that I'm being tagged along with the right group of people. But I just also want to say thank you, Vanessa, just also for allowing us to stay there. I just don't want to let that get passed by as well. Definitely do. I'm glad, I have you in my life and everything. You're just a great person and stuff. And also shout out to your husband too for giving me his belt.
Yeah.
Guys, listen. Let me tell you something. I was struggling. Like I was taking this stuff, getting ready to get my suit on. I had my Warner Brothers pin. I didn't forget that, right? I got all my things and everything. Well, I forget my damn belt. Right? But her husband came in, saved your grace, like, hey, you can use mine, man. Thank you. And guess what? Right before I leave, guess what? I had to take my belt off. I had to give it to I was like,
and then after his belt, that's when we saw Dan Stevens.
Yeah, right. As soon as I took my belt off, that's when we saw Dan Stevens. I was like, oh, hey, man, congratulations.
That was so funny. I was like, I didn't even know he had the belt. He was like, I gotta give you this belt back. I was like, what? I was like, whatever.
Yeah, I had to go back to the bathroom. Like, oh wait, it's your husband's belt. There you go. So, but but honestly, yeah, this was a dream come true. I was in tears and stuff. In moments like meeting these people, but we do got some screenings of other films, which we'll talk about later, and I'll review them. A Fall Guy and stuff like that. But yeah, I just want to say thank you, Vanessa. For I think your first time on my channel, hopefully not the last. But I just want to say, where can the people find you?
You can find me at Vanessa Shark on all social media platforms. You can read all my interviews and articles on multiversecolor.com. I have some interviews coming up. I did a little press day for the Spiderwick Chronicles, which is coming out soon. It's a primarily Black cast, which is cool. About two Black boys and their sister and like magic stuff and fairies and whatever. So that was cool to talk to them about that. And they'll hopefully get up on the Multiverse of Color channel on YouTube. And I also interviewed Mark Russell, so you can check out that interview. He writes Batman Dark Age, Superman Space Age. He's one of my favorite writers of all time. Anyway, yeah, you can find me on doing all that. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Vanessa. And you can find me here on all platforms at Jedi Mike 7. Also, make sure you guys follow my link tree. It gives you all the hub to all my places, my Twitter. Now I got Twitter. I got my Instagram, which has been popping. My Henry Cavill post exploded. It exploded. Seriously. I just dropped an X-Men video. Make sure you guys tune in for tomorrow. Me and Jay will be back here. We got a new episode of X-Men coming tomorrow. Yes, right before we get to the 3-part finale, man. This show was fire. But yeah, I got other interviews that's coming up. But make sure you guys hit the notification bell. I'll be dropping some interviews I've done. I'm putting them on videos and stuff, and rolling out more content on my YouTube. And I think I just got notified we're at 800 subscribers. We're almost 200. We're almost at 1,000. 200. We're almost 200 away. Let's get there, y'all, before the year's over with. Actually, no, before San Diego, before July. Let's get there before 1,000. Yes, y'all. But yeah, guys, you can find me all at Jedi Mike 7, and also you can find Vanessa's links and everything in the description down below. Till next time, y'all. Peace. God bless. We are out.
Is there anything you want the fans to know, or any last thing you want to say to them before we get to see this series tonight?
This is where the fun begins.